penis, vagina, and maybe a little ass rape.
Welcome to the Christmas episode of Locker Room Talk. Bobby Sheehan, Joe Gorman, Matt Maran.
Yeah, man.
Merry Christmas, but more importantly, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Heil Hitler, Merry Christmas, and
Happy Hanukkah to Kyrie Irving and Kanye West specifically.
And to the one black guy who gave me the N-word pass on that episode where I horrifically had an editing accident. Happy Kwanzaa.
You had a horrific editing accident.
Yeah, where I said the N-word and forgot to remove it.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Maybe an N-word will magically appear in this episode, aka a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Every time an entitled white guy says the N-word, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah.
How cool is it that angels were non-binary and It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah, that is crazy.
An angel gets its wings or an angel gets their wings. Like, they never said, his wings or it's so.
Yeah.
How about that? Like, they knew what's up. They knew, like, once you die and go to heaven or hell, your genitals are no more. You become androgynous.
All angels, like, to fucking have a green mohawk with like black nail polish.
Yeah.
Listen to folk punk.
Ooh,
yeah.
Those are all angels. They all live in Bushwick. Bushwick is the limbo for angels that haven't quite made it to the afterlife yet.
You might call it the City of Angels.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's why they call Bushwick Little Los Angeles.
They do call it that, yeah. Also because there's a lot of Hispanics.
Right.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. So
Don't
Joe,
panic. It's Hispanic.
what do you think you're going to do for Christmas? Do you think someone's going to come and show you what your life would have been like all these years if you never said the N-word?
Dude, yeah. It show what a utopia the world is now. It's like there's flying cars, like world peace. COVID never happened.
Right. Yeah.
People were finally able to put aside their differences.
Yeah. What are we all doing for Christmas? What are you doing, Bobby?
I am going to hang out with my mom and my dad and my aunt.
And your aunt.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have, I don't know what kind of dinner we're having, but dessert is going to be apple pie with some vanilla ice cream.
Ooh.
Is that like a staple at the Sheehan house?
Staple in the Sheehan house.
Yeah, apple pie with vanilla ice cream. I had Jollibee for the first time.
How'd you like that?
I liked it. I had the peach mango pie
dessert
after. I got the chicken joy. I grew up in Queens, so there are Jollibees around. I just never been to one. And there's one near where I live now, and I'd been meaning to go, so I texted a couple of Filipino friends of mine, and one of my friends who's not Filipino, but he is Asian and loves fast food and has talked to me about Jollibee before, and just asked what to get, and they were all like, literally everything is good there.
Was your Asian friend Otter Lee?
No, it wasn't. He is on Fight Club tonight, though.
Nice.
I am going to let him know when I see him that I had Jollibee, so he knows I'm like I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like you would say you classify yourself as the guy and a white guy that gets invited to the cookouts.
Yes. Well, it's Asian, so I'm like invited to the hot pot.
Or
You got to
invited
put the walk in.
Yeah, invited to the slaughtering of the goat in the middle of the town square.
Yes. But I got the chicken joy with I got the spaghetti they have there.
They have
also.
spaghetti.
Yeah. And the peach mango pie and it was very good.
Damn.
I think next time I'll get the Yum Burger.
What's that?
It's the burger they have there.
A Yum Burger?
A Yum Burger.
When I think Yum Burger, I think it's topped with cookies.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be yum.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? An all-in-one burger where it's
burger
like,
with cookies on top.
Yeah, and a little bit of like milkshake sauce on top, so you just get everything in one bite.
It sounds gross, but it could be delicious.
If you do it properly, if you pull it off right.
I never thought putting peanut butter on a hot dog would be delicious, but it's apparently my favorite thing.
Well, the trick is you put the peanut butter covered hot dog in your ass and have a dog eat it out.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I feel like if you ever
now you're barking up the right tree.
If you ever watch one of those shows with like a Guy Fieri or any of those shows where they go to like find a unique restaurant, it's like today we're gonna go somewhere where they have burgers that are topped with cookies and milkshakes. It's gonna be someone who looks like Joe, who's the one behind it, 100%.
I won't let you see what's going on in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
like,
Jolly. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
It does. It says there's a very visible crack pipe in every fucking shot.
Beautiful.
What were you gonna say about Jollibee?
Jollibee was actually Chuck Berry's favorite fast food restaurant.
Really?
That's why he wrote Jollibee Good.
I'd say I didn't think Jollibee had been around that long, but you learn something new every day.
Every day you learn something
Yeah.
new. You know what I like about Chuck Berry is that he used to intentionally fart in hookers' faces.
Who wouldn't?
I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also
Imagine that.
apparently was good at the guitar.
You're sex trafficked in from some fucking foreign country, and then like you don't know what's going on, but you're essentially like a slave your whole life. And then like you see this fucking musician, and you're like, well, maybe he'll play some sensitive music after we make love, or maybe someday like I'll turn on the radio and I'll hear a song, and maybe it's somehow about me. And instead he just fucking pulls his ass cheeks apart, rips a fucking majesty of a fart, and I'll say, perhaps a little brown mist shoots out.
And she starts crying.
Yeah.
He goes, you might hate it, but your grandkids are going to love it.
This is going to be a great story for you one day. No one's going to remember who you are, though.
Wouldn't that be cool if like that was like the director's cut of Back to the Future? Michael J. Fox's character just fucking farts in some guy's face, and then it was like, hey, it's me, Marvin, your cousin. You know that revenge you were looking for that's totally degrading to sex workers? Well, get a load of this. And then like everyone's upset, like the idea that Chuck Berry couldn't invent farting in a hooker's face himself, that a white man had to invent that.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hi, Finn.
POCs have been farting in sex workers' face for eons.
Yeah.
Okay. The Back to the Future, I forget if it's the second or third one, when they go into the past.
That's the first one. First they go back.
Well, the Wild West.
Oh, that's Back to the Future Part 3.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Back to the Future Part 3, where they go to the Wild West, is where I heard the Civil War song, Battle Cry of Freedom, for the first time.
And that's where you became a nerd.
That's what started my Civil War autism.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to the Future 3.
Yep.
The worst of the trilogy. Also.
Yeah.
I feel like Back to the Future 2 was pretty cool, where they actually go into like a future, and it was like
I haven't
a
seen
dystopian-
2 or 3.
Really?
I only saw the first one not that long ago.
That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's
All
a
right.
few. I have a few. I just saw Star Wars in the last few years for the first time. There's a lot of like blind spots of like famous movies.
I am
haven't
going
seen.
to, on the during the watch along, watch Die Hard for the first time.
Is it? Did we decide on Die Hard?
Well, two people have thus far said Die Hard.
Yeah.
And so I imagine unless there's some nefarious activity, which does happen in elections.
Yeah. Unless the election is stolen.
Yeah, if the election, stop the count, Die
Yeah.
Hard,
Yeah.
for sure.
What was the other options that we put on there?
It's a Wonderful Life, a Muppets Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
and Gremlins. And of those four, I've only seen a Muppets Christmas Carol.
That's wild, man.
I think Die Hard's the only one I've seen of them. But it was a long time. Like, I don't remember anything about Die Hard. So it will be, I feel like it will be like watching it for the first time.
And if anyone says Die Hard's not a fucking Christmas movie, I'll kill you. All right? I'm not putting it out on a hit. I'm not asking my fans to do my dirty work. This time, I'll kill you myself. It's absolutely a Christmas movie. It's wild that people say it's not. There's no justifiable reason. Like, they say, like, hey, fucking change the holiday, and it's like a completely different fucking,
movie.
It's like that's any fucking...
Yeah.
That's the holiday in any fucking movie, dude.
I guess because the Christmas movies are typically a Christmas movie is all about Christmas, where Die Hard could still have the same plot without it being Christmas.
I mean, yeah, but that's like any... I mean, like any
Like
plot, if you remove...
Elf couldn't be about Passover.
Yeah, it could be about like a guy like trying to find his father.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I mean, the theme of any movie, the storyline can always be adjusted to not include Christmas.
Yeah, but there's like movies about Santa and stuff.
Yeah, but like there's like it's all the true
that
meaning of
couldn't
Christmas.
be about Halloween. No one dresses as Santa for Halloween. People should though.
I feel like
Yeah.
lazy people do. Lazy people dress up as Santa. Where
Yeah,
they're
'cause
like,
they just don't want to get two costumes
yeah,
for the year.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I still have the vomit from last
Yeah.
year's SantaCon, so
Right.
I'm gonna be hungover Santa for Halloween.
Yeah. Dude, that was the nice thing about having the broken arm and being inside, as I didn't have to be around SantaCon.
You don't like it? I guess like once you get after your mid-20s, it's over.
If you're not participating in it, it's just a thing. That's in New York when there's like parades. It's just like, ugh, now 6th Avenue's closed. It's just like inconvenient
You
for
can't
you.
get around. New York is a move it kind of city.
Yeah.
Well, a parade is like, avoid these streets, but SantaCon is kind of everywhere, and
Yeah.
it's just people from New Jersey that don't know how to walk.
Yeah. Yeah, and like there's no excuse for a parade unless you're a sports team won a championship.
Yeah,
every
or
other
you're
parade,
Puerto Rican and horny.
every other parade kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, I had it was we just passed my 4 years since brain surgery, and I saw a reminder on Facebook the weekend I was in the hospital with brain surgery with SantaCon, and I posted, damn, I should have been more careful last year when I said, God damn it, I'd rather have brain surgery than have to be outside for another SantaCon.
Nice, dude. And then, like, what was it? Like a few months ago, you were like, I'd rather break my arm than have to go to SantaCon.
Exactly.
So maybe next year you should say, like, man, I'd rather fucking have sex with 1,000 fucking beautiful women and one underaged one than go to SantaCon. Because
not for me. That's the one I would give to Bobby because I'm feeling generous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's like a fucking when a firing squad, like one person is given a blank so that they could tell themselves that they weren't the one that shot the fatal bullet. It's like that, you fuck 1,000 women and you're like, well, one of them was under. It's like the inverse of that.
That's why, like, if whenever I have to execute a prisoner and they give me a bullet, I shoot him in the dick because whether or not I kill him, I know his last moments were in absolute agony.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's how I sleep at night, baby. Because someone's got to kill him, but I'll at least know he felt pain.
Right.
Isn't that wild? I vote.
You know what I was looking into for a little while?
Bobby, do you think that's legal?
What?
The public execution like that where I can shoot a man in the penis?
I think you have plausible deniability.
Do I?
Well, yeah, let's just hope this recording doesn't come out.
Okay.
But public executions are real, right?
Yeah.
That still happens in America?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there's like lethal injection, but is that like firing squad still?
You could it can't be public. So because that's cruel and unusual punishment, but it can be viewed by like certain people, including the victims' families. But there was a case in Utah where weirdly, first of all, you could pick how you're executed, which I think is hilarious.
So you could choose firing squad?
You could. So this guy tried to choose firing squad, which was technically like still legal, but then Utah like made it illegal. They're like, no, we're not doing firing squad. But I think that guy is metal as hell. He's like, no, I don't want to die in a fucking gurney.
So what are the options when they give you the choice? There's lethal injection.
I would choose drug overdose.
Yeah.
Like, can I just give me like a giant plate full of cocaine?
Can I die with a giant smile on my face, please?
Can I die hard with a vengeance?
Ooh, that's the next Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the options?
I don't know the other options.
Eaten to death by piranhas.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, like quick is highest.
Yeah.
Because you hear horror stories of like lethal injections being like, oh, the paralytic worked so he couldn't move, but then the thing that made his heart explode didn't make his heart explode all the way. So he was actually in agony for minutes.
I would like to be thrown off the Empire State Building, please.
Because you want to ruin other people's nice time.
I want to be handcuff me and throw me off the Empire State Building. And then they're like, only his handcuffs landed on the ground. That'd be fucking wild, man. Where am I? I could be anywhere.
Yeah. You ever hear the stories of like a girl suffocating a man to death by like sitting on his face and then crushing his head with her legs?
Okay, I would love that. Like your mom to kill me that way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, if it's my civic duty, and if I would be a bad person for not obeying a government law, I guess I have to.
Yeah, I would let the government choose.
Yeah. No, I want to die being suffocated by a woman while I'm eating pussy. Die doing what I loved.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to be overfed.
I want to die from not eating.
Me too. Overfed with pussy.
Damn, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like I go to a buffet and I just like that guy in Seven where they just kept feeding him and then like kicked him in the stomach and he exploded.
Where was this?
It was in the movie Seven.
Oh,
but that's not really spoiler alert. That's
Siete for our Latin listeners.
One of the many graphic murders in that movie.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
No, I haven't.
That should be another fucking watch along for us. Like all these. Thank God Matt never saw any good movies.
What are you doing for Christmas, Joe?
Fucking, I'm my beloved fiance Kelly Taylor. We're gonna go see her family in New Jersey.
Nice.
We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna FaceTime with my family.
Yeah.
FaceTime is what I call fellatio.
Yeah. The kids got.
You could just say that about literally anything any of us say.
Hanukkah is what I call fellatio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. This is our second Christmas together.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
This is my first Christmas as a single man.
Oh,
In how long?
Mhm.
After you broke up with your Jew broad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You finally don't have to give a shit about Hanukkah anymore.
Nice.
But I
dude.
remember that today was Hanukkah for you, Matt.
Yes.
And for anybody that maybe owns a comedy club and happens to be Jewish
Yeah.
and wants to respond to one of my emails,
Yeah.
happy Hanukkah to you guys as well.
Yeah. Are you going to light a menorah?
Hey, if I could get 5 minutes on your weekday show,
Yeah.
I would love to light a menorah, maybe sing the Chabad,
Say the Hanukkah prayer.
say the Hanukkah prayer,
You wanna do it-
find
you
a
wanna do
Christian
it right
baby
now?
and do whatever it is that you guys do with it.
Bobby, show our Jewish here. Say the Hanukkah prayer.
You
You want to do it at the same time?
I'm sorry, the lease is very clear about the paying the rent on time. No, you will not get your deposit back. No deposit back.
L'chadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hell yeah, dude. Perfect. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready for Hanukkah. I'm ready for Christmas. And hell, I'm even ready for Chinese New Year.
Ooh.
Yeah, that happens in February.
You get some fireworks?
I call them COVID works.
You know what animal is it this year?
They're Chinese people, Matt.
Oh, I'm
Jesus.
sorry. My bad. Yeah.
Jesus, man.
The year of the cockroach.
Yeah, okay, so Matt is wearing his Jamie hat right now and looking
Yes.
up what year Chinese people think it is.
Yes.
It's like the year 3000 or something.
And, no, there's an animal that they put.
Oh, the year of.
The year of, yeah.
With the Zodiac.
the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. The Chinese Zodiac.
Is it the
It's
year of the 32-year-old open micer? Because then I'm ready.
Yeah. It is the year of the rabbit.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
jumping at the chance for next year.
Yeah, we were real leaping to conclusions with that one.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. This year could get pretty hairy.
Yeah. Is it a leap year?
It
It
is.
should be a leap year. It's the year of the rabbit.
It is.
2020. No, it's
2024 is gonna-
2029.
Yeah. You were trying to hop on ahead to the next year.
It was.
Yeah.
rabbit run.
Oh. Finnegan.
The year of the rabbit. Oh, this is the year B Rabbit makes it out of the shelter and into Dr. Dre's studio.
Does
Yeah.
it? Is
That's
it,
very exciting.
What in this Eminem verse or some shit?
Yes.
Do you think they'll play Bad Bunny's music at the Chinese New Year
So
parade?
I have almost no clue who Bad Bunny is, other than he is bisexual.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all bisexual.
Yeah. I
This
mean,
is
if
a
he was
bisexual podcast.
heterosexual, he'd be a good bunny.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, yeah. Why don't they call
Holy
him Bye
Bunny.
Bunny?
Bye, bunny. Yeah. I didn't know he
Well,
was
anyone with
bisexual.
like Bunny in their name isn't
Yeah.
like the epitome.
Bye
of,
Bunny
like,
is what Hugh Hefner would say to a woman after she turned 41.
Yeah.
No,
No,
after
if
she
he
turned 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
Nobody likes you when you're 23.
Bad Bunny's bisexual. If he was straight, he would be hello rabbit.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is that a musical artist?
He's
Yes.
a Puerto Rican rap superstar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop-
He's like
pop-
I think
pop.
he's one of the like most famous musicians in the world, like
Mm.
worldwide. I know he's done some matches in WWE. He was at WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think he's going to be back next year too.
He's going to be president in like 10 years.
yeah, probably.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cool.
How does that make you feel?
Senator,
I think,
Senator Bunny.
Yeah, he's a Puerto Rican. I guess like, I mean, you have to be born in the United States to be a president.
Yeah, I
So,
don't think. Yeah, so he'd have to be president of Puerto Rico. Do they have a president? What do they have there?
They have a governor.
A governor.
And
of Puerto
also, if
Rico.
you're born in Puerto Rico, you can be president.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's
What I
technically
thought was
US
clearly a joke
territory.
didn't read as a joke for
Matt thought it was real.
Yeah. Pitbull, Matt can be president. Jennifer Lopez can't be because she's a woman.
Right.
But Mark Anthony, I don't know what ethnicity he is actually.
I think he's Spanish, or is he Puerto Rican too?
I don't know.
He's Latin.
I remember being in middle school and learning that the original Mark Anthony, the guy that went to Japan, I was like, that's hilarious. Do you think he was living La Vida Loca over there? And then the teacher was like, "You're not funny," and I was like, "I know." And he's like, "Hopefully you get on a podcast with someone that's much more talented." And I was like, "Well, that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to college for." I went to college for being third mic on a podcast. It was actually a major that I made myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
It is. Damn,
Almost-
there is going to be a podcasting major in like 2 years.
There already is.
Really?
For
I
mean,
sure.
they're eventually-
it'll be within like communication.
Yeah, broadcasting communications
broadcasting.
eventually going to like transition into like broadcasting like digital media.
Yeah.
It'll be like all under that.
Can you imagine how like when locker room talk takes off and we've captured the hearts and minds of at least the neck tattooed folks of our generation.
Yeah.
And then you have like some Ivy League guy and he's like, "But I have a degree in podcasting." How fucking angry he would be at us three hooligans.
Yeah, there was a professor from some college in Nebraska. This was like a year or two ago, who like interviewed me, and like he wanted to talk to comedians, and then like kind of record those interviews, and then like talk to classes about he worked, I think it was in like communications or broadcast, something like that. And he was doing interviews with comedians that who would follow online.
So he was talking to you because he knows you're friends with a lot of comedians.
Yeah, exactly.
But he actually taught like a class on like psychology, and he was like, "This is narcissism psychosis 101." As you can see, these delusional, like all these New York comedians, like these people believe they're going to have a career talking about their penises and lack thereof virility. And
Very good Arizona accent, by the way.
He was from Nebraska.
It's all the same. They're still like a fucking Harvard professor.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was an hour interview. In the end, he was like, "So do you have a contact for Louis J. Gomez?"
Oh, that's funny.
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
But you do.
I do, but he didn't say that. It'd
His
be
name
fun.
his name is Joe Gorman.
Yeah, I have Lewis's number.
But I have Lewis's
And
actual
does
number.
he answer, Matthew?
He did just reach out to me about a roasting project he wants to do.
Ooh,
Okay.
Hey, keep it on the down low. But yeah. Oh my God. So long story short, locker room talk at Skankfest.
Yes.
See you there.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean,
Bobby, you might have to
dozens-
buy your own ticket.
Yeah, I think I absolutely will. We had close to a dozen people upset that we weren't at Skankfest.
No, people were messaging me saying, "Why aren't you at Skankfest?" And I was like, "You know why?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm
know
forbidden.
Why.
I'm
You're
not allowed.
blackballed.
I'm not allowed
You're
to
blackballed for being a truth teller.
I'm forbidden. It's simply not allowed."
I had a friend of ours was like, "Why don't you go to the Skankfest as a participant, like as an audience member?" And I was like, "I don't want to do that.
It's
That feels
shameful.
weird." Yeah, it's
Well, I
feels
think
strange.
if you went and just hung out, you probably would get thrown up on shows.
You would. You absolutely would.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel weird if I'm at a show, like if Matt's on a show and I'm like, I love hanging out with Matt, I'll hang out with Matt, that's fine. Or if like Mark Henley, may he live forever.
He lived forever.
Forever and
If he put on a show that I was not booked on and I was like, but I love hanging out with Mark. But like to just be on the periphery of a show run by people that are acquaintances at best would make me feel awkward, strange, and possibly a little bit like Leech.
Horny.
And horny. Well, I mean, that's a constant in my
Yeah.
life. I'm always horny.
Yeah.
I should get the fucking who's the rapper that looks like a line cook? Post Malone.
Yeah.
I should get the always horny tattooed. Like he's got the always tired tattoo.
Yeah.
I think that'd be very cool.
He has it right under his eye.
Yeah.
Baggy
So
eye.
Bobby would have it right underneath his ball sack.
Yeah. Ooh, that's got to be the most painful area to get a tattoo.
Probably.
Your ball sack.
Yeah.
No dice, Chicago.
Where's the one place you would get a tattoo?
Where I would.
Do you have a tattoo?
No
Yeah?
tattoos.
You had the Anarchy one.
But I have no tattoos. But Bobby, what about the embarrassing one? Yeah. I'm getting it removed right now.
Are you really?
By the way, yes, this has been probably the better part of a year. I go every 8 weeks to get it lasered. It takes 2 years. Yeah. It's painful. Guys, don't get a tattoo unless you're really sure you want one. Because
Why
it
don't you get
does
something to
hurt.
cover it up?
Because I think tattoos are on most, not all people, but I think tattoos
Here
on
it
some
comes.
people are corny. And I think I am one of those people. I always think of the Bill Burr line where he's like, it used to be if you had tattoos, you were tough. And now I see guys with sleeves and they're like, yeah, I work at a bank.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel. Tattoo beards too. Like a guy would be like, "Oh, I work in marketing," and I'm like, "Well, then why do you look like a goddamn lumberjack?" You know what I mean?
Well, who cares if the beard makes him happy? Why do we need to gatekeep facial hair and tattoos?
No, it's cool. I'm not going to pass legislation to tell him to shave it, but it's also kind of.
But if legislation was passed, he'd be like, "This is good. God bless the government."
Well, we all know I would follow that law to the T. The spirit of the law and the letter of the law.
He would knock on people's houses with a cheese grater.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I got to inspect your body for a tattoo."
Yeah.
And it's like, Bobby, why are you only inspecting 12-year-old girls?
Yeah. Why a cheese grater?
Because that's how you remove a tattoo.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even think about that.
That's like, this is no time to decorate your Parmesan.
Yeah. Like, what do we do? We're going to add toppings to the tattoo?
You never heard of that? That was also a Simpsons joke. Where they were like, and now we have to remove your tattoo. And Homer goes, I never got a tattoo.
Yeah.
And Mo goes, you didn't? Ah, dang it. And he took a cheese grater and throws it down.
I know
It's
they
like,
use
oh
like in Gladiator, he used like a rock when he served the Roman Empire, and then they killed his family and tried to kill him, and he escaped. And when he was in jail, he's using a rock to break off, carve out the tattoo because he felt betrayed by his country.
If they were in Japan, he would be a Ronin, which is a samurai without a master.
Ooh.
Which is essentially what I am.
Yeah.
An American Ronin.
Yeah. American Ronin!
Did we do that bit before?
We did American Woman.
I feel like we've mentioned that too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way we're going to
Did I dream
not
this
repeat bits.
Did I dream this incredible podcast?
Yeah. We did American
Oh God, I had a nightmare. I was
Yeah.
doing a podcast with my incredible little dog and my two friends who are history buffs, and one is also a wrestling fanatic, and the other one I'm pretty sure carves up children. But oh my God, we had an incredible.
How come he gets wrestling fanatic?
I'm
Honestly,
riffing about what I know.
I think that's actually a little bit more embarrassing than someone who carves up children, being a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
All right, I'll find a new. bit
Either
about
way, both people have action figures at their
Yes.
disposal.
it. Yikes.
Thank God I actually wrestled, because I would feel real sad just being in my 30s and liking wrestling if I didn't have the. Well, I did. Like, I look at it analytically because I did it.
Yeah. It's fun though.
Yeah, it
Wow,
is.
way to insult what I assume is half our listeners, Matt.
I'm sure they all wrestled too.
Or at least like I don't know.
Wrestled with their
Thought about wrestling
sexuality.
at some
Yeah.
point. Like nobody's watching it thinking that shit's real. You know.
Yeah,
The
but
stunts are like
Except for the guy that
maneuvers.
broke into Matt's hotel room to fight him.
Oh, did that happen?
Yeah.
That was
Back
one of
in
your
the
old
day.
wrestling stories. That's
Yeah,
right.
well, that was everyone would always not everyone, but the people who would wait after shows. It happened a few times. When I know it's not real, but
That is going to fall over, Joseph.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about
It's
it.
a matter of time.
Say I know it's not real, but he went too far. Which at the time is what I was going for. My thought was they all know it's not real, but I still want them to hate me and think of me as the villain. So my thought was I'm going to cross lines that even. They'd be like, I know it's not real, but you still insulted
Yeah.
my girl or whatever it was.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like Matt actually slapped a woman,
Huh.
like a guy's date. Like he went up and slapped her.
I did
Nice.
slap a female wrestler who was a friend of mine for
Okay.
a storyline.
All
Yeah,
right.
and they were like, "Okay, can you do that without a visible erection?"
No, she was. I remember we were doing a storyline where I was gonna slap her. I was the bad guy, and I was gonna be like, "This girl's with me now," and then she
Nice.
was like, "No, I'm actually with the other guy."
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I
okay.
slap her and
Cool.
knock her out. And she beforehand said to me, "Don't go easy on me. If it looks bad and it looks soft, the audience will be able to tell." But like she said, "Hit me as hard as you can, and I'll know if you don't. And if you don't, I'll kick you in the nuts." Like
Okay.
she was like very like you have to.
I'm getting turned on just listening to this.
She was like, "Make this look good, or I'll fuck you up." So I was like, "All right."
Yeah,
So
I
if you
don't
could
like
just, like-
aggressive women, but when they're
Yeah.
aggressive about how much they want me to hurt them,
Yeah.
it's real confusing.
It's like if you could just nag
yeah,
me
but I
a
don't
little.
like being told. It's like God, more fucking rules.
Yeah, she was nagging.
Fucking hit me as hard as you can. It's like God.
She's
we just,
nagging
like,
me
fucking
about how
chill?
I'm gonna hit her. I'm like, all right, I'll hit you.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know, you want me to hit you so much, it's making me want to fucking hit you.
Yeah.
So did you hit that woman as hard as you could?
Yeah, but in like it was a open hand slap right across. I got a little high up on the cheek, so I wasn't gonna like hurt her jaw necessarily or anything.
You just severely cup her ear.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't go by the ear either. I was like careful to like not do anything that would actually hurt her, but yeah, I went kind of full force right across the face.
Oh my goodness,
Nice.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Did you pretend she was a woman comedian the whole time?
No, he just thought of his mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Giving a little payback, as we call it.
WWE payback.
Yes. That was one of their pay-per-view names.
Ah,
Yeah.
PB.
PB.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to the Baseball Hall of Fame for Christmas.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Lord Jesus Christ the whole time.
Yeah.
but he wasn't even born on Christmas.
Yeah, that
He
is
wasn't?
true.
What the fuck are we celebrating
He was
for?
like born in the spring.
Yeah, it's whatever the Roman holiday was before Constantine came along is what we replaced with Christmas.
What do you mean? What was the Roman holiday?
Like the birth of I don't know.
Finn, no.
What is Finn?
He's got a cat turd in his fucking.
Way to go, Finnegan.
Oh, Finn.
Finn, why'd you do that?
Oh, God.
Just
To be fair, I've never eaten a cat turd before. Maybe it's very delicious.
Yeah. There you go. Yes. Finnegan just ate a cat turd. Hell yeah. And then brought it over to us like we would want it.
Here, the personification of locker room talk.
Yes.
A big piece of poop.
Yeah. So wait, Christmas was a Roman holiday.
They didn't call it Christmas,
What-
there was I don't know, but there was a Roman holiday on December 25th.
Yeah.
And then when Constantine was like, we're Christians now, and they were like, can we celebrate this fun holiday? And they were like, yeah, but it's about the birth of Jesus.
Okay, but it was just some other holiday for a different thing.
Yeah, it was probably like fucking the birth of some other god.
Yeah.
You know.
Isn't that just fucking wild? What a fucking weirdo.
I think it comes from the fact that a lot of cultures have holidays around this time is because people get seasonal depression.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just fucking do a weird tradition and make people be with their families so they don't end up hanging themselves.
Yeah, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That song is actually just the equivalent of like a crazy person in a rubber room with the straitjacket on going, I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm actually doing very well now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of I like a cold, snowy Christmas day because it's
A
like
white Christmas.
a white Christmas.
A white power Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a Aryan Christmas. Doesn't even have white in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it's a cold day and it's snowing, and when you don't have to travel anywhere, like this year, I'm hanging with my parents and my aunt, and we're just none of them are annoying. We're all nice.
Yeah.
And you just sit around, you eat, you watch something on TV.
Yep.
You know, I go downstairs after eating and do a bunch of sit-ups and push-ups.
Right.
That's not, you don't have to. But if some people feel guilty about eating a piece of apple pie with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's birthday is the week before Christmas. So for his
Beautiful.
birthday, I'm getting us tickets to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He hasn't been in like maybe 20 years.
Ooh.
I think he took me when I was a kid, I believe. Or actually, I'm not sure. I went with like camp, actually. I don't think I've ever been with my dad to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I've
think
been with my dad.
to the Baseball Hall of
Damn.
Fame.
No,
Yeah,
he means in a biblical sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For Christmas.
for Christmas. that's actually how Gentiles celebrate
Right.
Christmas, is that we are with our dad.
Yes.
Well, that's exciting. Are you gonna maybe like collect baseball cards there?
Maybe. They do sell baseball cards. I have a whole bunch of baseball cards still at home. I wonder if they're worth anything now. I don't think kids collect baseball cards as much now because the whole thing was you could look on the back and see everyone's stats, and now like baseballreference.com has all of that. You can see like there's no reason to collect baseball cards. They're also not worth anything anymore because like there was a whole generation of kids who left their parent moved away they went away to school, moved out, the parents threw away their baseball cards, so anyone who had some of them left, they were rare. So then everyone's whole generation was like, I gotta save these baseball cards, they'll be worth something someday. But because everyone saved them, they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
And like, does baseball have the same appeal that it used to?
That's true. It's not like the America's past. It still is like the oldest one, and it's still just in your vernacular. Like everyone says, strikeout, home run, just like colloquially, and so it's still baked into like America, but it's not as popular.
How about Instagram thought cards?
Ooh,
That's kind of cool.
see their stats?
Yeah.
What about podcaster cards?
Ooh, that'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. How many sexual assault allegations?
Who led the league in sexual assault allegations? But yeah, so I don't think my dad's been since like before I was born. Maybe I don't know. I know he said he's been before. But
Since, in his words, when life was good.
Yes, I went when I was teenager, and then I went a couple years ago for Derek Jeter's induction. That was the first time I ever like was there for one of the induction ceremonies. That's one of my like Bobby's autistic thing is listening to old presidential speeches. I'll like go to sleep while listening to old Baseball Hall of Fame induction speeches.
Yep.
Which is it's very fun because a lot of that, most of it is just dudes thanking their family. But sometimes you get like cool stories, like Catfish Hunter tells the story of how he got the nickname Catfish.
Yeah, but I went there and it was a different baseball player.
Yes, that's. But yeah, then I end up. It's like you see the good stories, and then most of it, I'm just like looking and being like, I'm deciding whether or not I would fuck Harmon Killebrew's wife.
Would
like,
you?
Yeah, she's pretty.
Mamma mia.
I like Harmon Killebrew's wife.
I love women being beautiful.
At least
honestly.
in 1983 when he was inducted. I don't
Okay.
know if she's alive now or what she looks like now. But yeah, a lot of them is guys thanking their wives and me just looking, deciding whether I would or wouldn't.
Deciding whether I would or would not thank them if I was married.
Exactly. Yes.
And I would like to give a thumbs up to my absolutely midwife over there. Midwife. Oh my God, is that where the
midwife.
term midwife comes from?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
that's
an
what-
average-looking wife.
Yeah. They're like, you can't be a full nurse. You're fucking 6 at most. You're a fucking midwife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a wife so pretty that people get mad when they see us together.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I think that's fun.
That's what you look for most in a partner.
Yeah, like the whole like King of Queens fucking thing. You know,
Where you're like a doofy husband and she's like a super hot, but also
Former Scientologist.
frustrated but patient and forgiving.
yeah. Yeah, like she nags me a little bit, but she'll fucking get dicked down. In this scenario, I don't have erection problems.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that?
Ooh, mind over matter a lot of times. It does happen. I'm one of the few men I think that it happens to less as they get older.
Really?
Because I just because when I was young, I was like, sex is important, and that fucked with my dick for a little bit while. But now where I'm like, it's one elevation above masturbating. Now I could stay hard very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you have less respect for women.
Exactly. Ever since I've been hanging out with Joe.
Yeah.
What, dude? I'm fucking Mr. Respect Women.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I say.
That's what they would say on your baseball card.
I said, like, if you don't.
How many
fucking-
women did he respect last year?
And they were like, we're waiting for the results back from NASA to
Yeah.
calculate the number.
Yeah. How many times did he cheat versus caught cheating? It's like stolen bases.
-0 and -1 billion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, damn, this guy fucking is the
Yeah.
epitome of nobility.
We have video of all the times he goes up to a woman and approaches a girl to ask her out, and we can calculate his batting average.
Every
Yeah.
single time, it ends with me getting down on one knee
Yeah.
and proposing.
But yeah, they do sell baseball cards at the Hall of Fame, so maybe I'll get a pack of baseball cards just to I missed the feeling. That was such a fun thing as a kid, opening a pack of baseball cards and seeing who you got.
I feel like after, like, well, like, the Pokemon cards are still popular, right?
Yeah.
So
But that's cool, but there's a different feeling to the baseball card because there's you look at it's like, oh, let me look at the back. There's a brief summary of this guy. Let me see. Oh, he played on this team. Like you learn their history and everything. There's you watch the guy on TV. I guess you watch the Pokemon on TV also. But
the Pokemon.
yeah, it'll be fun. I went a couple years ago. And I would assume not much has changed, but it'll be nice to go with my dad. That's the thing. Baseball is a big like father-son thing.
Some
You
would
know.
say the biggest. Did you like baseball with your father, Bobbert?
Yeah.
you?
Baseball's cool because I felt like baseball is like a level above golf and jockery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you watch football and you're like, oh, those guys would shove me into lockers. But baseball, I'm like, oh, those are guys that like to hit balls and run around.
Yeah, baseball, it's kind of like the baseball fans even. They're like the nerds of sports fans.
Yeah.
Because it's all about
statistics and shit.
All about statistics. Yeah, and especially now there's like sabermetrics and there's new era statistics.
I mean, like, that's where like fantasy baseball came from, where like just kind of like the algorithms and shit.
Yeah.
Like I watched like that whole documentary on it. I still don't even know how fantasy fuking baseball works.
Fantasy baseball for me is when I close my eyes and imagine that all the players are white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and naked.
Yeah.
And home plate is your asshole.
Never mind, they could be Dominican again.
He's sliding into home. Oh!
Grand slam. Yeah, and I also love, I think, baseball movie. There's something romantic about baseball because it's, I think, got the longest history. The modern era of baseball starts in 1900. There's still baseball parks you can go to and be like, that's the exact spot Babe Ruth was playing.
Yeah.
Nice. And there's like the fucking hot dog stand he would go to.
Yeah. Before and after and during the game.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I love how like Babe Ruth was like, look at this fucking fat guy athlete.
You know,
And,
he wasn't like later in life he certainly got fatter, but like early in his career when he was hitting most of his home runs, his like listed height, he's like 6'2", 215.
Yeah, he wasn't like obese or anything. Like, it's so funny, but like, you know, I feel like most people like my age or, you know, a little younger, they only know about Babe Ruth through like pop culture, but also just like, you know, cartoon portrayal of him.
Yeah,
being,
well,
like, a big
that's
guy.
why when you're saying like baseball's not as big now is just like you don't have to be a baseball fan through pop culture to know the names Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Shoeless Joe Jackson. It's just they're out there. And now who's the baseball player now? It's just baseball isn't like that. There's Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady. Other sports have kind of like taken over that spot in culture, but baseball was that for so long that there is such like a unique history that's been passed down that Field of Dreams is still a movie people will watch today, and it's about a guy who played in 1912.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's when Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain was still alive.
Who's Joshua
Would you like to
Lawrence
tell us a little
Chamberlain?
speech about that he said in front of a
Who is
public?
that?
Joshua Lawrence. Oh, I actually thought you knew who it was.
Is that Neville Chamberlain's dad or something?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, it's not. He was pivotal in the Battle of Gettysburg.
Wow.
He
Okay.
led the 20th Maine, and he kept the Alabama boys from overrunning the Little Round Top and thus passing Gettysburg and going into Washington, D.C. And his 20th Maine, all the boys, they ran out of ammo.
Yeah.
So he said, gentlemen, bayonets. And all the Maine boys very bravely got ready to garrote the Alabama boys. And they saved Little Round Top. And one of the Alabama boys said, we were never, what was it? We've never been routed before, but I'll be goddamn if I ever meet another Maine gentleman. Yeah. But he died in 1914.
Yeah. Well, that's the like if you go to a baseball game at Fenway Park in Boston, that stadium came around was built in 1912. So you could be sitting in those seats being like, somebody who fought in the Civil War once sat here.
It's beautiful.
Like, that's wild.
Some guy who once bravely owned a slave.
Yeah.
Might have enjoyed the very same ball game I'm enjoying to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
either
the very
way,
people he would have loved to see in shackles and covered in scar tissue from whip
but
cracking.
I once watched a documentary that made a pretty convincing point
that they liked being slaves.
That
I
they
saw
loved-
it too.
Yeah. It was actually a choice according to Kanye West.
and that was just at his beginning of a career of making great points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was the documentary you saw?
Oh, well, Colin Kaepernick had that very poignant scene where he was like, look at these
Modern day slavery.
the football
NFL.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never in baseball though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball is my favorite sport.
Well, how come
the
in
way
that
they
way?
dribble
up and down the court?
But like when LeBron James, remember when like LeBron James got all of the. He's on the Lakers, right? And like, don't
Yes.
get mad at me for not. I'm sorry. Like, I only know.
I thought you were about to say, remember when LeBron James got all uppity?
I just I only know about LeBron James exclusively through Space Jam 2.
Yes.
And everything else is retroactive.
Right.
But like when Trayvon Martin was shot, he got all the Lakers to wear hoodies like during the game. And
At the time he was on the Miami Heat.
Okay, well,
he's on the Lakers now.
But like
that must have been hard. They were all wearing hoodies when there was so much heat.
Yeah.
But like there weren't any like.
This is where I get to fact check people when they make sports mistakes.
There you go.
Yeah, they were all wearing the hoodies. Yeah, LeBron's done like activism. And he's still like with George Floyd. A lot of the NBA, they all would like were wearing stuff and like pregame shoot around stuff
now,
like that.
I heard that like the reason for that is like the NBA knows their target demographic at the end of the day is black people, and the NFL, they know like no matter how many black people are playing the sport, at the end of the day it's white people that really enjoy watching football.
I think black people like football too. Football is just so far and away more popular than every other sport.
Really?
It's ridiculous how much ahead football is. If you look at numbers, like you'll have like baseball games, like primetime baseball games, maybe you'll get a couple million people watching. The NBA can get up to like 2 or 3 million people. The NFL is like 12, 13 million. It's so much further ahead than like every other sport. So there's more white people watching, probably just because there's more white people overall in the country.
I see.
And there's a lot of like when there's like I was like fucking somebody signed Colin Kaepernick. He's better than. He wasn't like the best quarterback in the league, but he was definitely better than quarterbacks that were in the league. And there were some who were like, it's not a good business decision, which I think fucking I hate when anyone gets blackballed for like, you know, they say what they think. Who gives a shit? Let them.
That's why I
play.
will always respect Comedy Fight Club.
Yes.
Because no matter what I've said, either roasting people or as a judge,
Yeah.
like it's never been like I've never thought like, oh, I'm never gonna Matt's never gonna book me again.
Yeah, it makes me think of just corporations that like not hire a comedian because they said a joke people don't like. I feel like if they just take the chance and hire the person, things will be fine. Even if there's some controversy up top. I don't think if the Carolina Panthers had signed Colin Kaepernick in 2018, all of a sudden no one would watch Panthers games anymore.
Now it's the Carolina Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Is it really? Terrifying.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would happen, but there is something where I'm like, if they were that worried, I'm like, maybe I am like in a bubble in New York, and there are a lot of places where people would be really furious if that guy was on their football team. But I don't know. I still think it's just corporate business people being pussies.
Which they should be. You
No,
know what
they
I
shouldn't
mean?
be pussies.
I don't know. I feel like if I'm an executive and I have like a swimming pool
Nice.
and it's indoor swimming pool
Ooh.
and it's also all of my chairs, like this recliner would be heated, and you know, I have like a butler and a chauffeur and a cook. You know what I mean? Why do I care about the integrity of whatever?
Well, I think it's just every time I hear these stories of these guys who are like owners or business people, it's like, oh, they were actually born in a poor family and they took a chance and they were a maverick. They were the one who the other people didn't like, and they went out on their own, took a chance, and then they made this money, and then they bought this team and they bought this, and it was all about how they were going out on a limb all the time, and that's how you get to be really successful. And then, oh, I don't want to take a chance because this football player said things some people don't like. Kind of like, what? This kind of makes me not believe your whole story to begin with.
What you described is like a minor. Most people are like rich because their father was rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like that whole romantic thing. That's like the most rich people that weren't supposed to be rich.
Yeah.
You know, your Zuckerbergs and your Musks,
Yeah.
and your Gateses.
Yeah. It's
So,
just
like,
so-
I don't
yeah.
know if a guy that like signs the basketball players' checks even has that lore behind him.
No, I mean, that's just the lore that we're told about rich people in this country, the American dream. You take a chance. So every time I hear, like, in America, like this CEO or this business, this corporation, they would do what you want them to do and what we'd like them to do, but they just have to make a business decision. I'm like, that just sounds un-American.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of business decisions are calculated risks.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between like, oh, this can go either way. This is a gamble, and this will be bad. So I like Colin Kaepernick, mid quarterback or whatever he is.
At one point, he was very good, and then kind of fell to like probably would have been a starter on a lower end team, not a top end starter. But yeah, I guess not worth selling the farm over.
There is like, I bet you there was an actual equation, and I mean that like with like X's and Y's and stuff, and it was like, we did this focus group, and this is how many white Southerners hate Colin Kaepernick, and this is how much money Colin Kaepernick would make us, and then it's just like, all right, well, plug in the numbers, and whatever the X equals is how I will make my decision.
And then we have Y here, which is the amount of social justice points we get. It's like, think about how many people would have just bought, who never would have cared about the, I don't know, the fucking New Orleans Saints, who, if Colin Kaepernick had signed there, would have all of a sudden bought Saints stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was part of the calculation too.
Yeah.
How much time until the first female to male trans person is allowed to play football?
I'm sure they're allowed right now.
I don't know if they could. I mean, there's been women who tried out for the NFL.
Like who?
There was one woman who got really close. She was a kicker, though.
Joe, you're so fucking aggravating.
Why? Dude, that's like a
Like
legitimate thing.
No,
Name-
he's
name
asking
her.
follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if like you're trying
I'm
to,
sure
like,
he's genuinely concerned.
if you're trying to like defend your point with facts, you should be able to like be able to say like, oh well, there's certain.
Tell me
cases-
her first and last name, Matt.
Yeah, I would know the name if I heard it, because I remember
Was it on the
hearing her.
news?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Was it Bitch McUpathy?
Yes.
Nice.
She was a
Classic.
kicker. Like, you know, there's probably not any women who are going to be linebackers in the NFL.
I don't know. I match with a lot of women on Tinder.
Yeah.
That might make good linebackers.
So far, at least in sports, when there's been trans athletes, it's been a male who transitioned to a female who's competing with women.
Now,
That's
why
a
is
funny
that?
coincidence. Yeah, that's a coincidence, isn't it?
I
That's so
said so
strange.
far. Yeah, who knows?
Wow.
Yeah, maybe one day that'll change.
I want the.
Do you think trans women are women?
I'd rather just talk about baseball and football.
I'm talking about some baseballs right now.
Yeah.
And a
What?
bat?
You just the way you said, I just want to talk about baseball.
Yeah.
And Joe, you'll like this. It reminds me of an episode of To Catch a Predator.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because
A lot of things seem to remind you of To Catch a Predator, Bobby.
Well, everything's a learning experience. man.
Right, yeah.
well, you know, it's like the way you watch like other comedians with their craft.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you watch stand-up specials, you're like, oh well, here's how I would do it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of a
So
similar thing.
you're like, what am I going to say when Chris Hansen comes through that kitchen door?
Yeah.
And says, why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, so there was one where a guy meets up with a 13-year-old boy, but obviously the 13-year-old boy's not there. He sits down, and Chris Hansen comes out, and the guy seems like kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Well, obviously his decision-making skills aren't what they could be, but
Right.
so he's sitting there, and Chris Hansen goes, so you were going to meet with a 13-year-old boy today, huh? And he bites the bullet and goes, yeah. And he goes, really? What were you going to do? And he goes, talk. And he goes, about what? And he hesitates for a second and goes, I don't know, baseball. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so like he answers like, all right, now can I please fuck my 13-year-old boy?
Yeah.
I answered all of your damn questions.
Honestly, if any adult wanted to fuck me when I was 13, just tell me you want to talk about baseball. I would have been like, hell, I'm there. You want to bring my baseball card collection?
You know who hated To Catch the Predator, I'm assuming, is
Predators.
Predators one.
We're being hunted.
There's a witch hunt.
Where's our Million Men March?
Yeah.
It seems the predators
Talking about
have become the
executives,
prey.
man.
What about a Million Boy Watch? Million Boy March.
Yeah.
Who hated To Catch a Predator?
I would say any of the executives at Mike's Hard Lemonade,
Why?
because those guys often showed up with Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Ooh.
Yeah, because if you want to entice a child into drinking alcohol,
Give him some lemonade.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking... If I invented Mike's Hard Lemonade and I was getting royalties from it, I'd be
Yeah.
like, geez, can you at least blur the label?
Why?
It's not great product placement.
There's no such thing as bad marketing.
Yeah.
I think I disagree.
Taste the fucking beer the hard lemonade that's endorsed by 3 out of 5 sex trafficked children.
You may risk your freedom, but why risk taste?
Do you think the guys from Mike's Hard Lemonade are mad that they keep busting pedophiles and their numbers are going down? With all these predators going to jail, people aren't buying our product as much.
Yeah.
I love how it has hard in the title too.
Yeah.
So it's like such a sexual fucking drink to begin with.
Yeah, there's Hard Mountain Dew.
Ooh.
Which I follow the Instagram page. They're coming out like one state at a time. So I just get updates like, we're in Arkansas now. It's
Hell
like,
yeah.
it hasn't come to the Northeast
Get
yet.
to New York, bitch.
Yeah, they've been to Arkansas, I think Oklahoma. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
Just to drink your hard fucking soda.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Hard Mountain Dew and fucking edibles decide to both come out after I get sober. That's nefarious. There's something nefarious.
There were no
going on.
edibles before you got sober?
No, I mean, I stopped.
Well, you were sober from drinking. You can
still smoke weed, dude.
No, I can't.
Are you
really?
sure?
You got addicted to weed?
When was the last time you smoked weed?
Before the last time I drank. I quit everything on that day.
Yeah, but weed doesn't count.
It does to me. I think
Why?
Because it is a drug, Joe. I hate to break it to you.
So I do see what you're saying. For some people, even though weed is not in the same class as these other things, for so long it was treated that way, that in like an addict's mind, there is, well, if I cross this it's just past the barrier. So when you cross the barrier, it opens up the world to others.
And then also like alcoholics drive their car into a telephone pole and like kill people, and weed addicts realize at 50 that they're not what they could have been.
Or weed addicts accidentally release their podcast with them saying the N-word numerous times, and it's not until it's up for a few hours.
They should fuck that commercial where the girl's melting into the couch. They should have a podcast with Joe furiously hitting backspace on his MacBook.
It should also be like, hey, don't. Okay, that was very funny, but be sure you cut that out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking forget, dude. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then I posted like a fucking idiot.
Actually,
But
now I think
thank you for the N-word pass.
Yeah.
One black guy.
Yeah.
I really,
Trey.
I really
Thank you, Trey.
Trey,
Now-
I really appreciate
Now
it.
that I think about it, I think years of them calling marijuana a gateway drug is what made it a gateway drug.
Beer is a gateway drug.
Yeah, like because they just kept saying this is a gateway drug. It's a gateway
I'll tell
drug.
you what's really
he
a
made it taboo. So then when you do it, you start thinking, well, this is fine.
Well-
Other taboo things
well,
must be okay.
Another
also.
thing is like the way the DARE program kind of demonized drugs.
Yes.
And they were like, if you smoke weed, you're going to start doing every other drug.
So then
and weed
people
is like-
smoked
yeah.
weed and it was fine. So they're like, I guess I'll do every other drug now.
It does have the gateway. Joe, prepare to start laughing at what I'm saying.
Okay, here we go.
But it does have some logic to it, because not everyone that smokes weed goes on to other drugs.
Yeah.
But everyone that goes on to other drugs starts with weed.
Yeah, but you could also say like everyone that goes on other drugs also drank 1% milk, or they could say like everyone that did drug, they ate fast food at some point. You can make those kinds of correlations just because it's like a drug that.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
always
it's also everyone done it, so we can also say like, hey, you know what? We should also ban soda pop because you see the correlation.
Now I'm listening.
Within 1 year
Well,
of
except for Diet Coke.
with everyone drinking soda, within like 1 or 2 years, they're going to start smoking weed.
Well,
You can
there's
find any
always no matter
correlation.
what you do that's like far illegal. It started off with something that was maybe not listening to your mom at the dinner table. Like there's always
And I think we should legislate that.
there's always going
we
to
should
be
just eat in silence.
yeah. There's always going to be some stuff that led you to whatever the really bad thing is, but not all the things that came before that led you down the road should necessarily be legislated.
Yeah. Oh,
man.
yeah. Well, I think marijuana should be legal. I just think also I know personally very many people whose lives are bad because they smoke it so much.
I didn't smoke weed
Yeah.
this morning, and I got a lot of shit done.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it.
Yeah. See, that makes sense.
Honestly, that's a great counterpoint.
What do we think
How
are-
bad life sucks?
Here's
I
It's
get
like,
it.
damn, dude. Like people do this shit all the fucking. I was like literally thinking, like, how the fuck does Bobby do this?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like I'm like sitting here. I'm like, dude, fuck this, dude. I can't do this.
Yeah, how about let's bring it more into our wheelhouse, things we know about. What are some gateway racial slurs? Like before, no one said starts with dropping the N-word.
Honestly, it's like when you start saying, "Oh, I got gypped."
Yeah,
You don't even think about it, but you associate
yeah.
it. It's like, oh, a gypsy. So you subconsciously like think about like them being like thieves.
Yeah, because no one says the N-word and then is like, wait, did you say gypped?
Yeah.
I remember being in middle school and someone was like, "You Jewed me out of this," and I was so young and naive.
Right.
I didn't even know about the stereotype with Jews and money.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So it had to like literally a middle school kid was like, "Okay, so there's the banks."
Yeah. I feel like anti-Semitism is a gateway into bigotry, I think.
I think anti-Semitism is a way of finding out how the world works.
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying the same thing, just in different ways.
Yeah. Anti-Semitism, because, that's where, like, Kanye starts with a little bit of anti-Semitism, and then it gets to... Actually, he started with the slavery was a choice. Well, when you're black, you can start with the anti-black. Racism.
And that was just like endear you to white people.
That was the beginning of like Kanye's shock at people being angry at the slavery is a choice line was like the first time someone let him know that maybe he wasn't always brilliant.
Yeah.
Because he's like a hot girl. Like
look
the
at
fucking
it,
no
yeah.
one tells him like actually that's retarded.
Yeah.
He's like I keep having these amazing ideas.
Well,
Yeah.
look at it, like,
That's
like,
why I don't tell hot girls I'm Jewish, because they all like Hitler also.
But like,
There are so many things I love about Hitler.
Yeah.
Like first of all, confidence.
Yeah.
He
The uniforms.
the uniforms, but Hitler was only 5'9", so yeah.
But like when Kanye West was like George W. Bush doesn't care about black people, and he didn't get invited to the White House. It was only when he was saying all this fucking insane and retarded shit like he got invited to the White House.
Yeah, it's weird because the George Bush doesn't care about black people thing was so in line with like the zeitgeist of a certain type of leftist that a lot of people were like, actually, that wasn't unhinged. And I'm like, it was. That was an unhinged thing to do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But I mean, like at the time, you got to look at it was like the effects of Hurricane Katrina, and you would also see like white people were like, oh, they're scavenging for whatever supplies they can, whereas black people were looting, and
I just forced Joe to support black people on the podcast.
I'm supporting being anti-government more than anything.
That's true. Yeah.
More importantly, so I'll always think that's cool. So basically, I'll say Kanye has always been right.
Yeah. Joe is
Chronologically.
anti-Big Brother, even if it means having to be for the brothers.
Damn.
I didn't mean to crack your knuckle, Matt. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, his other
I
one was
hate
Brooklyn.
that.
What? Cracking knuckles?
I crack my own knuckles by mistake sometimes, and it makes my stomach churn.
Why?
I remember I used
hate
to,
it.
I used to see kids do it as a teenager and think it looked cool, and then I started trying to do it.
I love
I would
cracking my
crack my
knuckles.
knuckles.
My coworker cracks her knuckles on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and I know that it would be crossing a boundary for me to be like, "Can you not do that?" But I wish that I could.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. What can you do?
Live and let live.
Live and
Let this dumb bitch crack her knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, my coworker got fired.
Which one?
Which one?
It was the gentleman that would loudly say goodbye to me at the end of the day.
Ooh.
So that so for those just joining us, I had a guy. He started working at the company after me, and he would be kind of weird about when I'd come in and when I leave. Like I'd come in and he'd be like, "Oh, well, hey," and then when I leave, he would say like loud enough for like the boss on the other end of the room to hear. Like,
Oh, what a fucking herb.
and he has been fired.
Good.
Why?
Yeah.
Did you loudly say goodbye to him for the boss to hear?
Were they?
Were you leaving? Oh, okay. A little early on a.
And he's just another guy working with you. He's not like, why is he doing
So
that?
here's it gets weirder because one of my coworkers said, and this is a rumor, but I choose to believe it, is that he was giving a report on who would leave at what time. Because he was one of those guys. He's like the last one to leave the office, which a lot of good that did him. But he'd be like, okay, so Bobby left at 5:30, and so left at 5:45, and it started to become like he'd be like, hey, can you take care of this? And I'd be like, you're not my boss. And then, but he'd be like, "Oh well, the boss said to do it." And then so I was like, "Hey boss, is this guy my boss now?" And he was like, "No."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
You know, the weird white collar maneuvering that some people get.
Yeah, some people like to set themselves up to be like, well, you know, you kind of act like you're the boss, and eventually they'll be the boss. And like, look how good this person is at delegating work at no extra
Dude,
charge.
he's our age and he wore a watch.
What a retard.
Oh, I used to wear watches though. My dad collects watches. And he has some nice ones.
Yeah, I mean, well, and
Unless
obviously,
it's Mickey Mouse and the hour and minute hands are his fingers, don't even fucking bother.
yeah.
So he's dead now.
I didn't actually. Okay, like part of me is you feel empathy.
Why?
Right?
No.
Joe doesn't understand the concept of empathy. What are you talking about?
I fired a person because they were 5 minutes late on the dot.
Yeah.
I also the whole this guy's the first one to get in the building and the last one to leave is like only cool if you're a football player or like, but if you work in an office, it's like what, do you have no life?
Well,
Yeah.
also like we would do essentially the same thing. So those type of guys, like, I used to be like, well, maybe they're very busy, but now I'm like, well, I have 45 minutes of work a day, so he has at most the same amount.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
He's
know
just
that it's
doing it for show.
I know it's performative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was also the same guy that'd be like, I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was. Oh, I already. You hear that and you kind of suspect they're a tool.
Yeah.
But then you hear he's also the fucking trying to be the kiss ass. There's honestly nothing more satisfying like when the kiss ass in class who asks for more homework gets a failing grade. That's
Yeah.
like such a satisfying.
Yeah, in
feeling.
your face, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be like, he's like, I'm doing a lot of writing right now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And anybody that's been doing a lot of writing ever can suck all of my penises.
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of times, even the teachers or the boss, even they don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Nobody likes anyone that puts in effort, dude. It's like, look at this fucking piece of shit. Now it's making the rest of us look fucking bad.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a boss, there's no reason. If you see your boss putting in effort, then you should put in effort.
Right.
But it's like your boss doesn't give a fuck. You shouldn't give a fuck. I used to go around like, man, I should give a fuck about my job. But it's like, no one else does, and unless we do fucking comedy, who gives a fuck? I don't
Yeah.
want to be like the CEO of this fucking thing. I don't want more responsibility.
CEO of
dropped on
Locker
me.
Room Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think my longevity at this place is really thanks to one time I said to my boss, I won't quit if I make the money I'm making now because I just want to do comedy. And I think like that has eliminated any sort of like, well, how do we motivate this guy?
Yeah.
It's like I don't have to be motivated. Yeah.
Or he's gonna get a higher paying job and leave us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm married to Lady Comedy, baby.
Yeah, dude. Comedy fucking rules. Day jobs fucking suck. Support our Patreon. Let this fucking podcast become our day jobs. If you give us fucking money, you'll get another fucking podcast every week. That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking content, fucking 4 hours of additional content a month, and you give us $5. Come on, what else are you gonna do? Support fucking Netflix that won't even show you CP that Bobby likes? Come on, dude. Give us money, man. We need it.
It's the pitch for the Patreon. Can I
Yeah.
not be a pedophile during that?
Nope.
Okay, I just figured I'd ask.
So long, fuck faces.
Happy
yeah,
Locker Room Talk Christmas.
Happy locker room talk.
Happy Locker Room Talk
We
Christmas.
wish you a happy locker room talk.
We wish you a happy locker room talk.
We wish you a happy locker room talk.
And a bonus episode airing next.